Hi, everyone. I'm Robby Kendall, writer, director, producer of Unfree Will. And this is a inspired by a near-death experience I had in my 20s where I came out of the hospital very angry with God and questioned my faith again, wondering why I almost died, and just kind of processing that trauma. I kind of thought of just funny things. I rely on humor to process trauma and grief and um, just really tough situations. And I thought, well, maybe I had a guardian angel that was distracted, or may of course my guardian angel was gay and maybe he was hitting on another guardian angel, so that made me laugh. And and lately I've been thinking about personal stories or things that have happened to me that have changed me for better, or improved who I am or my identity. And I thought of this situation because what came out of that process was how I need to advocate for myself and not rely on others to really get what I need. And I needed treatment and I needed help. And fortunately, I had a friend helping me. But that's what came out of this experience, because God wasn't God wasn't gonna do it for me. Apparently, I had to do it myself, and so that's what this film is really about.
In addition to that sort of rom-com trope, there's a real message about expectations here. Alex, and then as it turns out, Hunter, are both laboring under expectations that different parts of society are putting on them, and that free or unfree will, can you rise above them? Do you even want to? Seems to be at the heart of this.
Yeah, I love it. And when we do screen it, folks are pretty surprised by the ending, or they and some people express they want them to get together. And I said, well, that's not, it just wasn't meant to be for them. And so yeah, so that's what and we're making we've already wrapped our second short based on the same concept. So we're creating a series of short films that are standalone, but we have the same main angels with different missions. So we are introducing new elements to upgrade. We're no longer doing blood.
Well, I wanted to ask about that. Yeah, what looks like dishwashing detergent from their eyes.
Yeah, it kind of, we actually were playing with different colors that would read initially, like the way I envisioned it, it would have been white, like Elmer's glue, but it didn't really read well on camera. So the concept, and we threw it out. We're not using that anymore. But the what I was thinking, or what I had envisioned, was that the angels that are having these acts of God, that are doing them, and they only have so many, it's just kind of a reminder that they got to be careful. They're warning, and something visible to them that they've used it. So it's like pain.
Yeah.
So and we never see yet what happens when they do too many acts of God. But in the second short, we've introduced little communication devices, like a Star Trek meets gay religion. So they're crosses, and they have lights that indicate how many acts of God they've done. So it's really, and it reads well. We designed them. My production designer designed them, and they add more personality. So like, it's where someone wants to place it. They might place it right there in the middle. They might place it somewhere else, so it adds a little bit more personality to the characters. So yeah, that it's better than the Angel dishwashing detergent. Yeah.
So tell me about the dueling angels. Tell me about Joey and TJ, because that relationship was a lot of fun, and we only got it in increments.
Yeah.
We're paying attention to Alex and Hunter, but tell me about those two.
Well, the director's cut is 25 minutes, and we're getting distribution, so it really gets more into the character and the background. But I do have a feature in mind to introduce Joey and TJ as humans and how they died and go into heaven and fall into this hierarchy of heaven and navigate through this assignment process before they can move on to bigger things in heaven. So they are ex-boyfriends for long, not for too long, but they were together, and they basically died by a exploding grill that was a point of contention for their relationship. And one of them, Joey, is having a divorce party and wants to grill, and then TJ, this is in the feature, this background, and TJ crashes the divorce party, and they are arguing over this grill, and then the grill explodes, and then in heaven they start with blaming each other for each other's deaths. So, but for Joey not, getting rid of the grill when he should have, they wouldn't have died. But for, TJ not being there because of the divorce party, then, so it's like we start off right away with them, blaming each other for each other's death, and then having to kind of navigate through heaven and rules and whatnot. So eventually they get into these missions. So God, and everywhere they go, they create drama. So God is sending them, bestowing them down to earth to get rid of them, really. And they're having to, work with their assignments, and they have different views on how to, go about their mission. So they have communication problems. They trigger each other. They bring up, unresolved issues they have with each other. So it just kind of, steers us away from the heart of the film, So, but yeah, it's great. I love writing them. I just channel all my boyfriends and ex-boyfriends and it's like I can write about it, and because I'm Joey, like that's who I am. I'm Joey.
Okay, I was going to ask, of the four, who are you most?
Totally Joey.
All right.
Yeah, and all my ex-boyfriends are TJ. So some of the lines. So yeah, and they're great. Brett and Derek, they're just too friendly too. So I've got to really push the tension, because sometimes when during a take, it's too friendly, like it's too sweet of ex-boyfriendship, and I'm like, no, let's gotta,
No, it was prickly all the way through this short.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Oh, I love it. That was the smoothest film I've ever made. It was just so dreamy, and now I'm back into like you know, walking off set, and I'm back into that. Like, I'm like, great. Like, what happened? I want to do that again over and over again.
Special. I like the fact, and as you continue to build the rules for this universe you're creating, I liked the fact that Joey and TJ could only do small things. They weren't, you know, they weren't pushing somebody out of the way of an oncoming bus. They weren't, you know, healing wounds. It was compelling Alex to circle the date on the calendar, knowing that that would have ramifications. And in terms of the screenwriting, I like that idea because you can put things in motion without the angels being like a deus ex machina. They just come in and fix everything at the end. So the small increments I liked a lot.
Great, thank you. Yeah, yeah, I'm trying to see, like, as I'm writing them, like, what could they do or not do to kind of just support, you know, because in the reality is that if they do too much, then it's going to make the humans kind of crazy. Like, they think there's a ghost, or they're afraid, or, you know, something like clearly moved. So if it's like moved and then it creates like confusion, like the calendar where Alex was like, I don't remember doing that, you know? So it's like, it doesn't have as much of an impact on what happens with the act. So yeah, like if someone pushes you, like if an angel pushes you out of the way of a bus, you're gonna feel that. You're gonna be like, what was that? And you're gonna fixate on it, like something hit me. Like, so I'm trying to come up with ways that are like a little twisty, some things too, but trigger the humans, but also link it back to the main angels, because it's something that they used to do, or they learned to do, or whatever. So
yeah,
fascinating.
Nice. Last question for you, because tell me about working with Franklin, because I thought Franklin's scenes were amazing. Perfect reaction takes every time.
Yeah. Well, what you don't know, there's actually 2 big dogs and 2 cats, and there were kids on set. So on the floor were 2 dogs laying there the whole time. So you didn't see that the cast had to like walk over dogs and whatnot. But Mala, who plays Franklin, did work for cheese. And we couldn't
budget.
We couldn't get her out the door, and I'm literally hiding by the window, and as they open the door, I just chuck cheese through the door outside to get her to go outside, like literally like Kraft cheese, just like balled up, and show it, and then just chuck it as soon as the door open. So like, yeah. So that last take was the best. Otherwise, she wouldn't leave. She wouldn't go. It was a struggle. But I have to say that the cast was like so phenomenal of being able to work around all these different distractions. I mean, yes, there just were dogs in the way at their feet, and they're just so focused. And I was like, oh my God, this is the best cast. And I do want to add that I initially was not supposed to be in it. So I ended up having someone who was supposed to play the angel on the TV. Brian. And he got COVID.
No.
The day before. So, and I just couldn't turn around in one day. And I was like, oh, damn it, I'm going to end up being in it. So I wrote a role for myself, and I mean, it was fun, but I keep forgetting I'm in it, because I didn't cast, like I didn't write myself in it. So I keep forgetting I'm in it. And then I see me in there. I was like, oh my God, yeah, I'm in it. I forgot.
I know. I loved the idea of an angel doing some sort of scam.
Yeah.
Self-help videos. I thought I could see that happening. Yeah.
Yeah. And the one I'm writing now, they interrupt like Google, you know, like the character asks Google or whatever it is for information, and then the angels interject. So it's kind of they find their ways to get their voices, and where it doesn't, where the humans don't really realize like, you know, what's going on. So yeah, it's great. I love it.
When you have this finished, these new incarnations, please make sure to send them to us. We would love to be watching more of Joey and TJ.
Yeah, we're actually screening them in churches. That's what we're kind of starting to do.
Wow.
So yeah, there's the First Congregational Church over here in the South Bay in California. Um, we did a screening of it there, and they had a adult forum discussion afterward. We did a discussion guide. Folks loved it, and so that's kind of the direction I'm heading to. I think, you know, film festival circuits, we're not, you know, I mean, I wish I could have come out to Connecticut, but yeah, so I'm like, well, what else can we do with this material?
Fantastic. Well, Robbie,
So
thank you for
anyway,
your time. Really
thank you, Claire,
appreciate it.
so much.